In this video, I will show you how to use the tool called Protege for creating an ontology. So we are given this graph housing which has got all the elements of the ontology, and we need to create this ontology within Protege. So first we will look at the color scheme which is used in this graph. So classes are shown in blue. For example, person is a class, it's shown in a blue circle with the name of the class person within that circle. And object properties, they are shown in red. For example, rents is the object property which is shown in a red square or a rectangle. Data type properties are shown in purple. So here the example is address. Built-in data types are shown in green. So for example, literal is a built-in data type. So data types you might have already seen in other programming languages like Java and C++, and some of the examples of these data types within these languages are integer and string. In the same way, here literal is a built-in data type. Then we have instances, and these are shown in dashed lines. So here Jeff Mayer is shown within a dashed line. So Jeff Mayer is an instance of the class person. So now we will see how to create this housing ontology in Protege. So all the classes, they are given in blue. So person, unit, residential unit, apartment, and house. These are the classes. We need to add these classes within our ontology. So we go to Protege. And here you can see that there are different tabs where you can go and create all these items. So we don't have the classes and object properties and data type properties tab here. So we go to window menu and then go to tabs and then click on classes. So classes appears here. Then in the same way we can add object properties. Then we can add data properties, and then individual by classes. This is already there, so we don't need to add it. Now we'll need to go to the classes tab and then add our classes. So our first class is the person class, and we need to click on our thing. So every class within an ontology in Protege is a subclass of thing. So we need to click on thing, and then we need to click on this add subclass option and type in our class name, person. Now we need to add the other class, which is unit. We go to Protege, we click on thing, and then add subclass unit. Now residential unit is a subclass of unit, so we need to not thing, but we need to click on unit and then add subclass residential unit. So all the classes, they begin with the capital letter, and we follow the camel case after that. And if there are any spaces within our any of the names, then we remove those spaces and join the words together. So now we need to add apartment, which is a subclass of residential unit. So we need to click on residential unit because apartment is a subclass of residential unit, and then add subclass apartment. Then we need to add house, which is a subclass of residential unit. So we click on residential unit and then add the subclass house. So now we have added all the classes within our graph to the ontology. Now we need to add the object properties. So object properties, they are shown in red. So here there are two object properties, resides at and rents. Resides at has domain person and range residential unit. And rents is a sub-property of resides at, so it has the same domain and the same range as resides at. So we will first add resides at. So we are in the classes tab, we need to go to object properties tab and then click on top object property. So all object properties within ontologies in Protege, they are sub-properties of top object property. So we need to click on top object property, then click this option, add sub-property, and then type in the name of our sub-property, which is resides at. And then we have other object property, which is rents. It's a subproperty of resides at. So we need to click on resides at, because rents is a subproperty of resides at. So now we've added all our object properties. Now we need to define the domain and the range of resides at. So we need to click on resides at, and then go to this sub window, click on domains, and because the domain of resides at is a person, which is a class. So when we click on domains, this window pops up, and there are different tabs. We need to click on the class hierarchy tab, and then expand the classes to find our class domain, which is a class person, and click on OK. Then we need to add the range of resides at, which is a class called residential unit. So we click on resides at, and then go to this sub window, click on range, and then go to the class hierarchy, and then here the range is a residential unit, so we need to pick a residential unit and click OK. So now we have defined the domain and range of resides at, because rents is a subproperty of resides at, so it inherits the domain and range which we have defined for resides at property. So we've added the object properties and also the domain and range. Now we need to add the data type property, which is address. So data type properties, they are shown in purple. So now we will add address data type property within our ontology in Protege. So we are at object properties tab. Now we will go to data properties tab. Click on the top data property, because all data properties in ontologies in Protege, they are sub properties of top data property. And then we need to click the option add sub property, and our property name is address. So we type in address and click OK. Now we need to define the domain and the range of the data type property address. Domain is the class which is called unit. So we need to click on address, and then we need to go to this sub window and then click on domains. Then we need to go on the class hierarchy tab here, and then expand the classes. The domain is unit, so we pick unit from here and click OK. Range of address is a built-in data type, literal. So we click on address, and then range, click on range, and then go to this tab, built-in data types, and then click on RDFS literal and click OK. So now we have defined the domain and range of data type property address. So the remaining things, they are the instances and object property assertion, which is rents. So how do we add the instances? So Jeff Mayer is an instance of person, and Barronway apartment is an instance of apartment. So for that, we need to go to the individuals by class tab. So we need to click on the person class, and then we need to go to the sub window, direct instances, and click on add individual. So we need to type the name of the person called, which is Jeff Mayer. And then we need to add another instance, which is Barronway apartment, which is an instance of class apartment. So we need to click on apartment and then add instance Barronway apartment. So at any point, if you want to check whether we have done everything correctly, then we can go to the reasoners window and then click on one of the reasoners that we have. So we will click on Hermit, so that Hermit is selected, and then start reasoner. So there is no error, so it means that we have done everything correctly. Now we will add this object property assertion rents, which is on Jeff Mayer, and which connects Jeff Mayer and Barronway apartment. So this means that Jeff Mayer is an instance of the person class who rents Barronway apartment, which is an instance of apartment class. So we need to click on Jeff Mayer in the ontology. So we are at the individuals by class tab, and then we click on person, we find Jeff Mayer, and then we go to this sub window, which is property assertions, and click on the object property assertions. So here the object property is rents. So if we type in RE, then if we type in control space, then all the options with RE starting letters, they appear. So we will click on rents, and then we need to type in the individual name, Baron Way apartment. So if we type in BA and then control space, it automatically completes it. So now we have defined the object property assertions. So now if we want to check the reasoner, then because we have already started the reasoner, at this point we only need to synchronize the reasoner, and then no errors are there. That means this is all correct. So we've created our whole ontology that we need to create for this graph housing. And now if you want to save this ontology, we can click on file menu and then save as, and then from here we select the turtle syntax and then click OK, and here we can specify where we want to store our ontology and type in the name which is housing, and then save. So our ontology has been saved on our system. So the ontology has been created, but I will show you one extra thing, because this might be needed in other ontologies that you might create later on. So we can add this data type property for the instance Baron Way apartment, which is we can define the address for this Baron Way apartment. So what we need to do is we are on the individuals by class tab. We need to click on apartment, we need to select the Baron Way apartment, and then on the property assertions we need to go to data type, data property assertions, and then from here on the left window we need to select address. So this is our data property within our ontology, and we need to select the literal type. So the built-in type is RDFS literal, and here we can specify the full address of our Baron Way apartment. So I'll just type in Huddersfield and click OK. So we have added everything within our ontology, and I've also shown you how to add data property assertions.